So here we go. The exciting thing of getting some new memory into your Mac. Now, why would you do this? For starters, well, we've just bought this. This is a good brand, Corsair Mac Memory. We've bought two 8 gig sticks, which is 16 gig of memory. And it's just cost about $200 on eBay for that. We were looking at spending $2,000 to $2,500 on a new computer. But when we looked at the specs of the new computer, it really wasn't any bigger. This guy here is getting a bit old. It's probably about 6 years old now, and this is just a way to refresh it and get it quicker again and get it happening. It's got 2 gig of memory in it at the moment, so it's only got 4, and we're going to take it to 16. So there's going to be a massive improvement. And again, because of the price, I could have got a different brand a little bit cheaper, but being a Mac computer, I wanted to get a decent brand in there because this is a huge part of how the computer works and how fast it is and all the rest of it. So extremely straightforward process of getting this in, but let's get on with it. It's taken a minute of intro, and what we're going to do is basically shut everything down on your computer. So absolutely everything needs to be totally shut down. So you just check all of your dots if you're not sure on your Mac computer, and just make sure that everything is actually down, and then we're going to turn the computer off, which is going to shut everything down. Okay, so in order to totally shut it down, up to your Apple menu and down to shut down. Not just to sleep, but down to shut down. So do a total shutdown, get the whole thing off. Take the power out. And then I'm just going to get something soft underneath it, because we're going to just wait for that to fully power off. You can still see the screen there is the grey and the black outline. Just waiting for that to fully power off. There it goes. And now it's off. We're going to turn this over. And we are going to be undoing these screws here. Little Phillips head screws that are here. And we'll get that going right now. Hey, I've just got a bit of a range of screwdrivers here. These guys are actually out of an iPhone screen replacement kit, so they're very little. Just standard Phillips head screws is what we've got. And then a slightly bigger one from a cheaper set, and then one from a more expensive set that's a Stanley screwdriver set. So these guys here, I've been started off with those, but they're not quite big enough, and the screws are quite tight. So try with this guy, but try and get something that's going to get them out just as easy as possible. That's looking like a good option, and that guy's come out. Now, in being Mac, the screws will probably be all different sizes. So I've got the computer laid out this way. I've got a white piece of notepad here. And what I'm going to do is, just as I take the screws out, I'm going to put the screws down in the position on the pad where they actually came out from. So here we go, the last screw. And yes, different sizes. These three, 1, 2, 3, which are at the back of the computer, were hugely larger, and all the rest look like they're the same size. But just in case there is even slight variances, we'll lay them out like I have. And that way, this last one's going to be a bit tough to get out. And that way we'll get them all back into the right holes. We don't have to doubt it. And yeah, I'll put a bit of pressure down on the base, because this is the last screw. This one's been proving a little bit difficult to get out. All this sort of stuff, never rush it. If you don't have time to do the job, save it till you do have time. So you can get a bit of clear space. Just holding this down and holding it in place. Here we go. Alright, I didn't even get to try this screwdriver. No, it's too big. So this is our best option. goes. I can see the base coming up now. Okay, last screw is out. And here is the reveal. This is what's inside, underneath there. It's just an aluminium base. And we can see here the circuit board here, the battery, the hard drive here, and the disk drive here. And the bit that we're after is actually these memory bits right in here. Okay, so now we'll take these out, and this is extremely simple. Again, I'm going to use bits out of an iPhone repair kit, and we're just going to clip these little clips back like that and like that, and look at that, up they come. There's one out, stick that there, and then the second. Nothing has to be forced here, so again, clip that back, and here, out comes the second. So they are the two memory chips that need to come out. That's come out, now it just needs to come back. It has clipped out. Now I'll just work this back. There we go. In the memory chip here, there's a little edge, and I'm just hooking under that edge in order to extract that and pull it back. So lifting it up, and then pulling that back. Here we go, that seemed like it came out. Then it went back in on the other side. So as I said, don't rush it. Even if you're making a video and the world's watching, just go nice and slow and nice and gentle. You're inside your computer. There you go. Out comes number 2. So there's the 2 memory chips out. Now it's time for these guys to go back in. Okay, so just chopped open this packet. And out come these guys. 1 and 2. And they go in just exactly as you saw those other ones come out. So we need to get down to that lower level. Down there. Slide in a little bit under there. There we go. That's what we want. In first, and then down. Where's my little things to open this up? Oh, look at that. Click. Beautiful. That's one in. Mac memory. Make sure you put in the new stuff in, not the old stuff. Slides in. Slides down. Click, listen to that. Click, click, in place. We are done. It is as complicated as that. Now have a look. This is the genuine. I bought this computer new, so I know that this is the genuine. And how interesting is that? Brand right there of the memory with all what's going on between Samsung phones and Apple phones right now. There's some Samsung memory running in this Apple computer. Okay, so back on. Screw it up, and then we'll power it on. Okay, we are done. Now, the little black screwdriver is magnetic. That's why I used it to get the little screws. I dropped a couple trying to use the non-magnetic screwdriver. That was a better size, so I tightened it up with those, but used the magnetic to put it in and get it into place. If you're wondering what was going on, just using the best tools for the job. And now we are literally ready to turn this on. I was quite surprised, but the software changes for this. There's actually no software changes required at all. It's going to just boot up and discover for itself what memory it now has inside. So I'll edit this video out so you don't get this bit, but we'll watch it boot up. So then we go up to the Apple menu. It's having a little think about it. Here we go, and we go about this Mac. And look at that, what we get, MacBook Pro 13-inch, early 2011. Now that line there is about how you find out the right memory to put in to your computer, because the people who are selling the memory will age your Mac by that line there. And the processor, we haven't changed that. But look at the memory, 16 gigabyte, 1333 megahertz, DDR3. So that is the RAM memory, or random access memory. So that's how much memory it's got available for processing, and you know, when it's doing multiple things at once and all the rest of it. So we've taken that from 2 2s, which is 4, up to 2 8s, which is 16. So I would expect a massive increase on speed in this machine. As a matter of fact, I'll delay putting this video up for a couple of days and give you a quick report on how it's going now. And here, have a look at that. When I click on the memory tab, 16 gig installed. Your Mac contains 2 memory slots, each of which accepts a 1330 megahertz DDR3 memory module. All memory slots are currently in use. We've got 16 gigs, so everything's up and working great. So, this is a couple of months later, and what is the verdict? Did changing the memory out fix the computer and make it faster? Well, initially, yeah, there was a noticeable difference. It was like, yeah, that's better. I'm happy with that. There's a bit of a difference. And then the new memory that I put in failed. And I had to take out the 16 memory and put back the old stuff, put the 4 back in. So here's another tip. Keep your memory. Don't chuck it in the bin once you're done. It only lasted about 10 days and then it stopped. I'll put another video up. Have a look at the end screens, the pictures at the end to go into detail about that. But then when I went back to the 4, oh my gosh, it was just back to Slugsville, and I had so forgotten what it was like. So the memory upgrade, absolutely worth it. Just massively worth it. Definitely do it. Really made a big difference, particularly where crunching a few videos and getting iMovie to make videos, or even just multitasking, much quicker. So really worth it. Didn't notice it so much when I did the upgrade because it was faster, but then when the memory failed and I had to go back to the 4, oh my gosh, yeah, massive difference, and really worth it. So have a look at the other video and I'll talk about what symptoms, what actually happened, and how that other memory died.